Bonjour, in this lesson we are going to see the part 2 of the Passé Composé in French with your French tutor online, myself, Pascal, and FrenchSpanishOnline.com, where you will find exercises. In this part 2 we are going to speak about the common irregular verbs faire, dire, prendre. Faire, to do or to make, dire, to say, and prendre, to take. The past participle of this verb are usually known this way. So, faire, we say fait. There is a T, but you don't pronounce it. Fait. The same thing for dire. The past participle is dit. And finally, prendre is pris. And we don't say the letter S. Fait, dit, pris. Well, we are going to see now that they followed the rule of the passé composé. We mean the subject, an auxiliary verb. Here it is again the verb avoir, and the past participle we have just seen. So if you say j'ai fait, the meaning is I made, I have made, I did, I have done. Okay? No difficulties. Tu as dit, or when we speak we say t'as dit, you said or you have said. Il a pris, elle a pris. He took or he has taken, and the same thing with she. And as you can see, there is here no agreement. The past participle seems invariable. Nous avons fait, vous avez dit, and ils ont pris or elles ont pris. But let's see now the agreement. You remember that there is no agreement with the subject, she, we, I, etc., but with the direct object, when this one is placed before the verbs. I washed the dishes. In French, we use the verb to do to translate that, and we say j'ai fait la vaisselle. Where is the direct object here? Well, it is la vaisselle. But here, la vaisselle is after the verbs, so there is no agreement. Fait stays like that. J'ai fait la vaisselle. But if you want now to say, I washed it. In French, you are going to use the pronoun L apostrophe placed before the verbs now. So L apostrophe is our direct object. Direct object coming from vaisselle. Vaisselle is feminine. So now we are going to say je l'ai faite with an agreement, and we need the last letter E at the end of the past participle, and it changes the pronunciation. Je l'ai faite. J'ai fait la vaisselle. Je l'ai faite. And you need to remember that now when you speak. You remember in the first part, with the verb ending in ER, there is absolutely no difference between the masculine and the feminine form. Manger, manger. But here is not the case. That's why it's interesting to know these verbs. Another example, but this time with the masculine direct object. Elle a fait ses devoirs. She made her homework. Devoir is masculine and here plural. So if you want now to replace devoir with a pronoun, you will say elle les a fait. Well, you need an S because it's plural at the end of the past participle, but that's all, because the word is not feminine. Elle les a fait, and the pronunciation of the plural form is the same. Here there is no change. So pay attention to the feminine plural or singular. Let's see another example with the following verb. You said nonsense. In French, you can translate this sentence in tu as dit des bêtises or t'as dit des bêtises. T'as dit des bêtises. Well, bêtises in French is feminine and here plural. So, if you want to add now the pronoun to replace bêtises and to place it before the verb, tu les as dit, but bêtises we said is feminine. So, at the end of the past participle, we need to add es because there is an agreement. Tu les as dites, and the pronunciation again is different. Tu as dit des bêtises, but tu les as dites. Okay? And we can see the same thing about the word prendre. He took the flowers. Il a pris les fleurs. Il a pris les fleurs. Fleur is plural and feminine. In this first example, the direct object is after the verb, so there is no agreement with the past participle. But again, if we want to use a pronoun to replace fleur, il les a pris, but now you understand because fleur is feminine, so at the end of our past participle, we need as an agreement to add es, and the pronunciation is different. Il les a prises. Il les a prises. You need to hear this form when you've got a direct object placed before the verbs. Il les a prises. Okay, so that's the difficulties with some verbs, some irregular verbs in French. Sometimes you need to hear the end of the past participle when there is an agreement. Okay? Well, we can say the same thing for more verbs like mettre, to put, écrire, to write, because they've got a past participle irregular. The masculine form is mis, écrit. Again, we don't pronounce the last letter. But the feminine form is mise, écrite, and the plural, we add an S, but the pronunciation is the same. Mise, écrite. So feminine plural form, mise, écrite. And you can hear here the difference between the masculine and the feminine form. Okay? So that's the things we can see about this second lesson. We will start next time speaking about the auxiliary verb to be in French. Maintenant c'est fini. Alors, au revoir et bon français.